Get out. This is our pool now. A 19-year-old kid had just ordered me out of my own backyard. Not requested. Ordered. I sat there in stunned silence, watching this entitled punk and his friends dive into my pool like they owned the place. The anger, the disbelief, it hit all at once. Imagine being kicked out of your own home by some spoiled teenager whose HOA president mother thinks she controls everything. They had no idea who they were dealing with. I'd handled people like this for over 20 years, just never on my own property. The sharp screech of my metal gate tore through the calm afternoon like nails on glass. I glanced up from my newspaper, coffee cup halfway to my lips, just in time to see 4 teenagers storm into my backyard without so much as a knock. The leader, a tall, skinny kid with bleached hair and a loose tank top, pointed straight at me like I didn't belong there. His 3 friends stood behind him, carrying swim gear, all wearing that same arrogant look that screamed they owned the world. I had moved into this quiet neighborhood 3 weeks ago for peace. Apparently, peace was optional. Hey, old man, get out of the pool area. His voice cracked slightly, but his tone carried the kind of arrogance that comes from never hearing the word no. I carefully folded my newspaper, slow and deliberate. 20 years in law enforcement teaches you patience. Count to 10. 1, 2, 3. The kid had already taken off his shirt, tossing it onto my patio chair like it was his. His friend snickered, phones out, ready to record whatever happened next. "Excuse me," I said, standing up slowly. "Is there something I can help you with?" My voice stayed calm, the same controlled tone I'd used for decades dealing with people who thought rules didn't apply to them. He stared at me like I just asked him to solve a physics equation. His jaw dropped, then tightened in irritation. "Help us? We don't need help. We need you to move. We're here to swim." He gestured at my pool like it was public property. "This is our neighborhood pool now." I blinked once, processing what I'd just heard. In all my years dealing with entitled behavior, this ranks somewhere between bold and completely delusional. The confidence was almost impressive. "Son," I replied evenly, "I think there's some confusion. This is my backyard. That's my pool. You're standing on private property." The words didn't even register with him. He laughed, a sharp, dismissive sound that made my twitch slightly. "Private? Please. My mom's the HOA president. She said all pools have to be shared with the community. You can't hoard it like some selfish boomer." He stepped closer, his friends gaining confidence behind him. "We're not asking. We're telling you how it's going to be. You can sit there and watch, or go inside. Your choice, Gramps." Before I could respond, he cannonballed into my pool, splashing water all over my newspaper and coffee. His friends followed, cheering as they turned my quiet afternoon into their personal water park. I watched them for a while, laughing, splashing, acting like they just conquered something. The leader resurfaced, slicking his hair back dramatically. "Yo, water's perfect. Hey, old man, you got any beer? We're getting thirsty." His friends laughed, echoing him while doing flips into water. One kid with a mohawk looked uncomfortable, throwing me a quick apologetic glance. But he stayed quiet. There's always one who knows better. They stayed for 20 minutes. 20 minutes of treating my home like a resort, demanding snacks, mocking my pool equipment, talking about bringing more friends next time. The leader, Kevin, I'd later learn, even criticized my landscaping. "You should get better furniture. Dude, this looks like garage sale junk." I nodded politely, sipping my now cold coffee, observing everything, their faces, voices, behavior. Most importantly, their absolute belief that they were untouchable. When they finally left, tracking water across my patio and furniture, Kevin turned back. "We'll be back tomorrow around noon. Might bring more people. And hey, clean this place up a bit. Make it more welcoming." They laughed as they walked out, leaving my gate wide open. I sat back down, picked up my soggy newspaper, and allowed myself a small smile. If only they knew who they'd just decided to mess with. Inside, I grabbed a notebook, old habit, and started writing. Time, descriptions, exact words. Documentation had always been my specialty. It's amazing how useful good records become when things spiral. And they always do. Then it hit me. If Kevin was telling the truth about his mother being HOA president, I was about to meet the source of all this entitlement. I didn't have to wait long. Sunday morning came with a sharp click of heels on my driveway, followed by a knock that could wake the dead. I opened the door to find a woman in her mid-40s. Perfectly styled bob haircut, clipboard held like a weapon, and a smile that felt more political than friendly. "Good morning," she said crisply. "I'm Susan Davis, president of the Maplewood Homeowners Association." She stepped inside without waiting. "We need to discuss your attitude problem." Her eyes scanned my living room like an inspector collecting evidence. The clipboard never left her hands. "Attitude problem?" I asked calmly. 20 years of interrogations taught me to let people talk. "My son Kevin mentioned yesterday's misunderstanding by your pool," she continued. I think we got off on the wrong foot. The way she said misunderstanding made it clear who she blamed. I gestured to the couch. She ignored it, standing firm, pen ready. "I asked your son to leave my private property," I said. "There was no misunderstanding." She laughed lightly. "Private property? Oh, we have some educating to do." She flipped through her clipboard dramatically. According to HOA Regulation 47, subsection C, all recreational amenities must be reasonably available for community enjoyment. She looked up, satisfied. "Your pool, Mr. Thompson, David Thompson." She wrote it down. "Your pool qualifies as community amenity." I raised an eyebrow. "And how exactly does something I paid for become public?" Her smile sharpened. "When you bought this house, you agreed to HOA regulations. Regulation 23 prohibits selfish behavior that disrupts community harmony. And corrective action?" I asked. Her eyes lit up. "Daily fines, compliance reviews, in extreme cases, removal from the community." She said it like she'd done it many times. "You've done this before." I noted. A flicker of pride crossed her face. "The Millers tried to ignore us. The Johnsons challenged us. Neither are here anymore. 12 families in 3 years learned that cooperation matters." I nodded slowly. "That's quite a record. How does the appeals process work?" She smiled again, but something darker lingered behind it. "Appeals? Oh, Mr. Thompson, you misunderstand. The board decides what's best." "And who's on the board?" She hesitated just a second. "Dedicated community members." "Interesting. And Kevin's behavior?" I asked. "That's part of community harmony." Her clipboard snapped shut. "Kevin is learning to advocate for community rights." I kept my expression neutral, but internally, I was connecting the dots. This wasn't just entitlement. This was systematic abuse disguised as authority. "I understand your position," I said. "I'll review the regulations." Her smile turned victorious. "I knew you'd see reason." She headed to the door, then paused. "Oh, Kevin and his friends will be back this afternoon. I trust there won't be any more issues." She left without waiting for a reply. I watched her walk away. Susan Davis wasn't just a controlling mother. She was a tyrant with a system, and she had just made one critical mistake. She showed me exactly how it worked. That was the moment I realized this wasn't a misunderstanding. This was war, and she had no idea who she had just declared it on.